This is day 938 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored for Hatzlacha in life and for Yer Shamayim by a generous donor. May that schools be Mekuyim. If you like sponsor, or come share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come me. Directly be greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tov Reish Lamed, Sif Lamed Dalet, and finally, leaving Tov Reish Lamed, and getting into Tov Reish Lamed Aleph, Sif A. Sif Lamed Dalet. Well, this is Simon Shin Shemach Basis Bar. The Gam Adam Kosher. He's a work person could also be a wall. Shabbos Yontav ain't lamid mechitza, but Shabbos you can't make him well. I can't enter margish unless he doesn't know the low levy communion. So it shouldn't be like you're constructing him on Shabbos Yontav by Shabbos. People down got be done in Sukkah. So, but also by the wall of Sukkah, Yochel so mechaver dom in Sukkah, and Sukkah you make for your friend a wall for your Sukkah. B'chol moed. I think she bought shehumad l'shem doven, even if he knows that he's put there for the purpose of a wall, because there's no such chashash in chol moed. Yontav also let me know, but Yontav can't make a wall. Im yodesh mamidim also. If he knows he's being put there for the purpose of a wall. Only if he doesn't know it's okay. Kamo b'sham as it is okay there. I feel Yontav ain't a structure yodea ela b'shlosh tfanos. So Yontav only is if he knows he's one of the three primary walls. Shehechsha sukkah tolevem, which require for sukkah to be kosher. But definitely for the fourth wall. Mutter. It's okay. You don't need it anyway. And by a person, we're not considered that he's going to walk away like we're considered by an animal. It's interesting. The Shabbat says you can't rely on a non-Jew for this. I'm not sure why not. Why it's certainly paying for it. And it came with Sheish Das. Since he has he has das, and he should be aware that he's supposed to say that. But it's different. He can't, since he's not allowed to know them, we should be concerned. We should have to concern they might go away. There you said, explained that I remember what he said, that by a person there is no such issue. That which allowed animal for wall, it's also only a chomoy not yontav. Dafka the onim chalakim in yudel any there. Even though a person with a signature, whether he knows or not, on yontav itself, behema any das, and the animal does not become usher, unless it's for him eights for Evan, because it's like animal is like stone or wood or stone came which in there, since he has no intent. Therefore, putting him there. Since he has no das, you're making him basically into a wall on Shabbos to Yontav. Lamanei, some sukkah you put your sukkah on the legs of bed. Klomar shamita yikulim megufefes b'fanos. Meaning that the bed is completely surrounded by walls ad lamata to its base. Arukh HaShulchan all sides. V'mina mita v'sicher al rashi dafnaseh. And you stood up the bed, and you put the slach on top of the wall, on top of the walls of the bed. We know that the place where you lie on the bed is in the middle of the time. But which even though I'm outside the slach, so if you put measure from the height of the bed to the slach ain't got sort of fucking. 10 fucking like the slach or it's a sort of fucking. If you go from slach to the ground, it's 10 fucking. But slach and smach, let's have a mita. And the slach is on the bed itself. Psula, it's possible fish ain't feel sukkah zoo. Because there's no permanence to the sukkah. I mean, it came which any good fucking man might try the slach. It's already 10 fucking from the platform, let's call it the schach, therefore it's no good. But when the 10 fuck in front of the platform schach, it's kosher. Here should see them so betam nami dobra kabel tuma. Those who find it forbidden because of mamit, because the legs of the bed, which you're using to support the schach, are makabel tuma, and they're sustaining the schach. Bein okay, it's not the case. Come on, this bar. See the tovish chop test. You test. Real poskim lo chashusu lezu ayin chum. As we see, the Arukh HaShulchan says you have to be choshesh for mamid, and of course the Mishnah Berurah says it's appropriate to be choshesh for mamid, and because there are poskim who are machmer. They said continuing on with mamid vav. This is when the sukkah is sustained by the bed. And when you move the bed, the schach is going to fall. The schach staying on 4 pillars. Just that the walls of the sukkah are the walls of the bed. And the sukkah themselves. In that case, there's no problem, even if there isn't from the platform of the bed to the schach 10 fachim. Or it's from schach to the ground, there's 10 fachim. And the bed does not diminish the airspace. Because if you move the bed, the schach will not fall. But it's tier go by it will be at a higher 10 fachim. Because I mean, turn out to mita leisho and fanas sukkah. Hi, but what about the fact that if you move the bed, there are no walls left of the sukkah? They're not linked. The guy before cheshvin dafnei mita the dafnas the sukkah. In terms of the walls, we consider the walls of the bed to be the walls of the sukkah. But they don't diminish its airspace, its cavity. So they're putting a bed in the sukkah. A kisei or a chair, gavoa, which is high, to extend and it won't be made from the top of the chair or the table to the schach 10 fachim. Hayiti posel sukkah b'shilzed, we pass the sukkah because it's a chariot. Haganam kenu sukkah is the same case over here in hechshes sukkah. In terms of the sukkah's kashas, I forgot the Yevshar read law, even they kind of move the bed walls, they had furnish yechsuru, because the walls is lacking the sukkah. Because in terms of the kasha of the sukkah, we consider this like any other movable object. In Posimus sukkah, the bed itself it's like a movable object, doesn't pass the sukkah by diminishing its airspace. To those who are concerned that not to sustain tzchak with something which is kabel tumah. So Arukh HaShulchan says, as he said previously, not use nails to hold the tzchak in place. That is, he regards much more derech mamid than, at least in the previous, putting the tzchak and something with kabel tumah. Mikom kam diavad ein zepsum ned rovas in Arukh HaShulchan tam mamid b'davar kabel tumah. But it says, if you did bang nails to keep the schach down, then that's okay. That's okay, and that's in the Yerushalmi as well. So again, in Lamed Hey, he was not choshesh to putting the schach on top of something with kabel tumah. He's more choshesh to this direct strengthening of the schach by the kabel tumah by the putting nails in it. The bracket says here, yes, sholofi mashka amanu damina pitikah yevisaisim. We say Piti Kurev says in my sukkah. In Cain, the whole sukkah named Piti Kurev says. When I say Piti Kurev says in every sukkah. Achain is a shade. It's not a question. Came in them halacha based fanas u'shlish is tefach. Since it says he needs 2 walls, real walls, and the third one tefach. The first lo mean pitikra. It's just the Torah by sukkah basically saying no pitikra. V'duk. Tough reish lamed al. Shesh sukkah tzricha lios tilasa meruba mechamasa. To be more shade than sun in the sukkah. And it's that the schach has to be more shade than sun. The parts it's like open structure and closed walls. In the perimeter of the sukkah's walls, the mechitzas, the parts, I mean, what to wear, if it's 50-50, it's fine. But in terms of shade and sun and shade, it's not like that. If it's 50-50 in the schach itself, it's hapsula, it's possible. Because that means that below, by the time you get to the ground, certainly chamasa movement it's lost, so you have more sun than shade. So you do this we know by the science of perception. That when sun enters the window, it expands more than the width of the window, because the light expands. Therefore, since you need more shade than sun, we're compelled to say, we're compelled to have a situation that the schach should be much more. Now, pointing from the empty space. So Shitas Rashi, Rosh, V'chein Arifa, Rambam, Hingasabatu, Zo Shitas Rov Rabbeinu. Most rabbis hold that way. Beis Rabbeinu Tamber doesn't mean mitzvah more. Yeshlem Shita Acheres B'zeh. They have a different meaning. Da'inu Shlonem Halacha B'fnei Atzmo Acham of itself. There is no separate halacha regarding sunshade. Elohim B'chlal Parts Oimid. It's the same halacha which you have a parts Oimid by the vertical walls. Yeah, by the horizontal schach. The mechitzas, kamochein parts of the schach, just like the parts of in the mechitzas, parts of in the schach as well. Shemesh schach kamo avir. So that means if it's 50-50 on top, have your parts go made mutter. It's okay. We don't measure sun and shade. We measure structure versus empty space. But we stand below. It looks to us that the schach is exactly the same as the airspace. It's empty air. It is possible. The airspace looks narrower from further away. Depends if the sun is shining or not, I guess. In the mountain near our parts, from below looks like there is 50-50. Have a similar parts here, so it's a sign there's more than 50-50 open than closed. That's true also by walls. We see the difference. The bracket says here, it says even in such cases it's okay. He links this to the Rambam sheet, or the Rashi, the Rif, and the Rambam, that when it's equal on top, then it's a simon that down below there's more tzel than there is chama. So he's linking to that sheet and arguing on what the Rambam, Rashi, Rosh, and Rif, Rambam says, and Arukh HaShulchan doesn't understand how we can argue. So this goes against our clear perception of what goes on. Obviously, halacha we have to go by the majority of poskim. Because never shitas Rabbeinu Tam emes. Rabbeinu Tam says if we look from below to above. Now if we see that they're equal as possible, I feel near as schach mat yosef, we see the schach a little bit more. Gangi posel, it's also possible to shitas Rashi. Do avir miskatzer b'riyah, because the airspace narrows when you look at this distance. Okay, I feel near mat yoser. Therefore, even looks like a little bit more schach. In reality, they are equivalent. Shavim Sulav, it's equivalent as possible. If you should matter, according to the first sheet, if you should matter, because then they have more sun and shade down below. So that from below, it has to look like there's a lot more schach than here. The general principle is when you measure on top, so she has schach, you have to have more schach than airspace. But sheer nachon, in proper ratio, so the bottom is getting more shade than sun. Because there'll be a sign, and so when we measure by a sighting from below to above, it's sort of you have to have more schach on top. And we measure down below, so we have to measure there's more shade than sun. If the schach is mostly two minimum amounts. In its minority, there's more sun than shade, but a minimum amount. Kasha average taps me. You can even say it's underneath the minority area, the small, the lesser area of the sukkah, came to the Bekalel, since when you include everything together, having till some move on mashu. There's more shade than sun by a slight amount. The moment is the importance of it, just like by the walls in terms of parts. We go after the total perimeter. Because I was saying we shouldn't pay base. Smoking, laying on chama itself. So in terms of sun and shade. Being beruba have a rak mashu achas sula. If in most of the sukkah it's only one mashu. If I'm sorry, the majority of the sukkah part it's only one mashu. It's possible because in the other place it's the minority of the sukkah it's missing a mashu. Okay, You can't have it tzilas chacham also, because then it would be equivalent, more or less. And so too in the minority of the sukkah, there's much more shade. Ruba, and in the majority of the sukkah, hachama yoser, there's a little bit more sun. In this case, even though when you take everything together, it's still awesome, Ruba, it's still possible. Because in most of the sukkah, there's more sun than shade. Therefore, even when most of it is equal, 50-50, it's still possible. So we divide up the sukkah to majority and minority for these purposes. Majority of the surface area versus minority of the surface area. Hey, here's topic. There are of our rabbis who are not sure do lie, but Mesh Anochin Acharok Mashkasabnu, I'm established by Rov Zel B'Sukkah Ktana. That's the minimal shear of sukkah. Sukkah though sheesh meshach shiva tfachim shu shear sukkah chamasam ruba. But if you have a big sukkah which has in the area of 7 by 7 tfachim, which is shear of sukkah, more sun than shade, ulayos ulishasha, maybe you can't sit there. You have to sit in the other part of the sukkah. Avshabakol, even though when you take the totality, habits also ruba, there's more shade than sun. Even though by Shabbos, we go after the entire perimeter. I think the harbor even is very big. It says there's no shear for the walls. In measuring sukkah, maybe each and every 7 by 7 block is a shear unto itself. Mishabur wrote previously that. Even if you take out a 7 by 7 area and parcel it, it doesn't affect the rest of the sukkah. Right, here's an obscure case in there. Well, we'll skip that. He based the Yesh Makrin the sum up, Makler, Sukkah Dolov, the Sukkah is large, Yesh Malcolm Shibal Shiva, Shchamasam Ruba, the place where December said where there's more sun than shade. Abishab calls Sukkah have it some Ruba, even though when you take the entire Sukkah, the shade is greater, it's still possible to kind of Since Poski, Mevor Hedgegam, Sukkah Dolov Kenu, and the big Sukkah also, you would have the measure of 7 by 7. There's a clear Lashon of the Shas in Yutes Amud Aleph. I think what he's saying is that against the Rambam. In other words, we don't say that part of the Sukkah, which is 7 by 7, is excluded from the rest of the Sukkah. But doesn't resolve this issue. In the brackets, Rav says like this. Rabbi Yochanan, the Gemara says, Rabbi Yochanan said, Sukkah Meshuba Mitzilas, the Sukkah which majority has more shade than sun. The Shemon Litzchak, the Schach Posel, Pachas Mishal, Sukkah, you need it for a Schach Posel, which is less than Tfachim, a Sukkah Ktana, that still the Sukkah could be kosher. And so, besides that, Gam Rabbo, Baruch Hanam, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Ktana could be a Ran, and they play about a small one, like the Ran. In other words, that's and a big one. We divide it into 7 by 7 blocks. Come Rabbi Yosha. Yeah, they should have said the Tzarech in Gadol, the Dukt. In Gadol, if that in fact is evidence that they in a big sukkah they don't cut it into blocks of 7 by 7, or it's not evidence. And it says Tzarech in Gadol.